Today I'm going to talk to you about synesthesia. Synesthesia is a neurological phenomenon. What is synesthesia? Synesthesia is a neurological phenomenon that has baffled scientists for decades. It is a rare condition when a person combines two senses. An example is someone sees sounds. How common is synesthesia? Synesthesia is a rare neurological condition. About 1 in 10 people have a small form of it, but 1 in 27, about 4% of the population, show signs for most of synesthesia, but only 1 in about 1,000 people have full-on synesthesia. The small signs for it is someone has polygrapheme, which is when they picture letters in color. This is very common, obviously, and someone who has a small or most of synesthesia is about 1 in 27 people, which means that they probably picture more than one, probably picture letters and numbers in color, and probably assign them personalities and genders, and this is all through the brain, obviously. And there's nothing wrong with someone who has synesthesia. And synesthesia means joint sensation because obviously you feel two senses. An example of a famous person who you may know who has synesthesia is Taylor Swift. If you ever heard her song Red, there's a line that says, "Losing him was blue like I'd never known. Missing him was dark gray all alone, but loving him was red." In this song, Taylor Swift describes her emotions as colors. The next question is who has synesthesia? Synesthesia can be found in anyone, no matter what size, race, age, or gender. Although statistically speaking, more women have synesthesia than men, about 1 male to 2 women, it is also proven that someone who is creative is more likely to have synesthesia. And synesthesia is involuntary, which means that someone does not have to think for it to come, it just comes. They don't even have to, it always is there. Like if I clapped and they saw a blue dot in front of them, that's involuntary. There's nothing wrong with the brain of someone with synesthesia despite your beliefs. Scientists have not found anything that is particularly damaging or disruptive to the brain. So people with synesthesia are just as normal as you or I am. And what is synesthesia like? The answer to this question varies from person to person. Every synesthete is different and has different experiences. The only way to answer this question is to ask a true synesthete. Some see colors, some assign genders to letters and numbers, some taste emotions, and the possibilities are endless. The easiest way to explain synesthesia is to say it is like metaphors in the brain. For example, if someone with synesthesia ate pie and they pictured the color purple, they might say pie is the color purple. synesthesia can or cannot be genetic. What this means is that someone who has synesthesia cannot or can have no one in their entire family who has it, but someone who has synesthesia could have a kid with synesthesia. So it could go either way. And does synesthesia help anyone? Synesthesia may not help anyone who doesn't have it, but if you do have synesthesia, then you probably have a good memory. That's because synesthesia has been known to improve memory. For example, if you, and this is if you're a synesthete, see someone you haven't seen in a while and you don't remember their name, a synesthete will still remember their color, so it will be easier to connect the name with the color. For example, if someone was named Jerry and the letter J is blue, and you go to them and you remember that they're blue, then you might think, oh, Jared, and then you might think Jared, Jesse, oh, their name is Jerry, and then you'll remember. Synesthesia theories. Fact number 1, scientists cannot figure out what causes synesthesia, but there are theories. Theory 1, the neurostructure did not properly develop. Theory number 2, neurotransmitters send signals to the wrong part of the brain. And theory 3, everyone is born with synesthesia, and as you get older and your brain develops, the synesthesia goes away, but it stays with some people. It would be hard to test these theories because the chances of someone misunderstanding or lying are too high to get accurate results. But I did an experiment anyways, later on realizing this. My experiment was I sent out a survey to see who had synesthesia in our school. In this experiment, I tested 68 12 to 14-year-olds, and 8 out of the 68 have synesthesia. And this does not match statistically, so theory 3 seemed correct, that everyone is born with synesthesia and that more younger people will have synesthesia. This is comparing it to the information I shared earlier, and that more younger people will have synesthesia, and this is a less statistic than my this is a less statistic than the research I shared earlier. My scientist was Franz Joseph Gall. Franz Joseph Gall came up with the ideas of phrenology, organology, and cranioscopy. Over his years of study, he inspired many future neurologists of his time and even of today. Although his theories and ideas have been repeatedly disproven, his effort and creativity is still admired as well as his scientific achievements. Now, you probably did not understand what phrenology, organology, and cranioscopy meant. Well, phrenology is the idea that character traits can be identified by the configurations in the skull. Organology is the part of biology that deals with the organs inside living things and how they function and their structure. Cranioscopy is the observation or a description of the human skull. In conclusion, we are all, in some small way, at least a little bit of a synesthete. If not, we wouldn't understand how she can be such a sweet girl, or how you can feel blue. We understand metaphors. I hope you have gained some new knowledge about your world and the brains of the people that live in it. Thank you for watching.